what's going on, everybody? Welcome to another video right here on the domain, and this is going to be the first video in my nerdy slash video game collection as I showcase and show you guys some of the things that I have as part of my video game, pop culture, nerdy collection that I have. And I've got a big stack of things that I've pulled from my collection to show you guys today, show you some things that have some meaning to me, and as well as most of this is all video games. And tell you right now, this is all actually video game related stuff for this episode. That does not mean that every episode, though, is going to be video game related. It could be something to do with pop culture, etc. Other than that, here is the beginning of Brian's collection, episode 1. Here we go. So, we're going to get into this, and I've got a lot of really neat things I want to show you guys here. Most of this I have found at like Goodwills or video game shops. Some of this stuff I found at a comic book store that I go to as well, locally down here. But this first item that I wanted to show you guys, I found this at a Goodwill. And this was before the pandemic. And if you remember, Goodwills had, they used to have glass cases that was some of their more high-valued items that you didn't want to just throw out on the shelves. And I'm big on thrifting. I love to thrift. I love going into various shops and just, you know, various Goodwills or thrift shops and things like that, just to see what they have. And one of the places I go to immediately in these kind of shops is the gaming section or the media section, and sometimes I get lucky and walk away with some pretty cool stuff. And on this particular visit, when I was in a Goodwill, I got super lucky because I was able to pick up something that has some meaning to me, and that is the Xbox Live Starter Kit. And this is complete in box. It comes with everything. It has the Xbox Live communicator headset. It even had a 12-month subscription card in here that wasn't used. Really odd. And it also comes with Crimson Skies High Road to Revenge. Now, I actually have Crimson Skies sitting along with my Xbox on my Xbox shelf with all my Xbox games. I don't have it in here because I wanted to display that game. One of my favorite flying shooting games of all time on the OG Xbox is Crimson Skies. And if you hadn't had a chance to play that game, you most certainly should. But this box is in pretty great condition. You got some tape right here, and then you can see on the side the the Xbox Live system requirements, which is kind of funny. And then it does show you on the side here everything that it comes with, and it did have all of this stuff in here. It even had the original packaging in it. And we'll open this, and it tells you 3 ways to connect to Xbox Live. Look at that first picture. Isn't that crazy? Look at that computer. Look at that. That's insane to think about. That, this was over 20. This is about 20 years ago, right? 2001, something like that. Crazy to think about. Using a router, using direct communication. And I will open this because I have no problem opening my stuff. I'll show you guys a little of what's in here. So in here, I have opened some of this stuff up. Is the original Xbox Live communicator, and this thing is crazy because it has this little headset piece for whatever reason, and then you had to snap it on to here. It's so weird. Look at this. This is the headset part. This is the first. This is the very first Xbox headset right here, and it had that really cool green cord. And then you had to, in order to get it to work on the Duke controller, the big huge controller, you had to actually plug it in with this thing. Look at this. That's a beast. You had to plug it in with this. Isn't that nuts? And that's how you got it to work with the Xbox controller back then. you had to actually use a plug-in to use your use your headset, because it didn't have wireless headsets for consoles then. And then of course everything else in here is included as it was when it came out. So you have the 12-month card here, and I did end up, what was really cool about Xbox and Microsoft is I called the customer support, and they let me use this, and they were able to give me, I think, 6 months of Game Pass Ultimate in exchange for this. So I thought that was really cool. And then of course we got all the old original booklets here, the Xbox Live Quick Start Guide. You've got the Xbox Live plugin. This is the book that basically welcomes you to the wonderful world of Xbox, showing off some games there. You know, Sports Sunday, Halo 2, the game everyone has been waiting for. And then you have, you know, your communicator, and then even came with the Xbox Live Arcade disc. And this comes with Miss Pac-Man, which I thought was really cool. And there's the disc in there, right there. So I, believe it or not, didn't pay that much for this. I actually got a really sweet deal on it. And as soon as I saw it, I had to get it. I had to. I'm a huge collector of everything. I'm a big, you know, fan of, you know, all the different consoles, and I thought this was really cool. And I liked this box. I remember seeing this when I was younger, and I thought this was so cool how they packaged this. It kind of is almost like their computer software, like Windows, for instance. It kind of reminded me of that. So there's that. Next thing I want to show you guys as part of my collection is a game that is probably one of the hardest games on the Super Nintendo, and it's actually one of my favorite Disney movies, and it is The Lion King. Now, the thing about this game, it's a little dusty, it's been sitting on the shelf for a while. This is unfortunately not entirely complete. The only thing I'm missing is the manual. I am going to find the manual, but other than that, it is all in here, and I'll let you guys take a look here. I'll open this up. And it is all in here, except for the manual. The other two booklets are in here, but there's the cart. It's even in this. It's even in the little holder still. I got a pretty sweet deal on this too. This I actually found at a what's it called? Flea market. I got this at a flea market. It's in excellent condition. The box looks great, and this is a hard game. And if you had a hard time playing this game, let me know about it in the comment section below. I remember the Elephant Graveyard was tough. Probably one of the hardest levels in this game. But still, a great game nonetheless. This next item is not even a video game at all. It's part of my pop figure collection. And if you saw the previous video, you know that my wife and I just recently started, really got into collecting pops. But I saw this, and I absolutely had to pick it up because it's one of my favorite video game series of all time, one that I grew up with, and it is the Sonic the Hedgehog 2 pop figure. And it even has behind it the cover of the second game. And I saw this, I had to have it. It was on clearance at, it is a GameStop exclusive, you guys can see there, and I got this at a GameStop. So I got a sweet deal of it. It is wrapped. I have not opened it. I don't open my pops. You should not open your pops either. They do get more valuable as time goes on, but I had to get this. I absolutely love this, and it's. I have a little shelf with some Sega Genesis stuff on it, and this is right there with it. So there's that. Next up is a game, one of my favorite fighting games of all time. I know many of you personally really enjoyed this game, and some of you are really heavily involved, I know, in the fighting game community. And I used to be a pretty big part of that community too when I was younger, more so in the sense of arcades. But this game was super popular back in the day in arcades. It still has a pretty big cult following now in the fighting game community. And this is the very first game, and I think currently the only game I own on the Super Famicom. And that is the Super Famicom version of Street Fighter 2. And for those who do not know, the Super Famicom is the Japanese version of the Super Nintendo. And it is the, for those who don't know, Nintendo is a Japanese company. And this is the Super Famicom version. And you'll notice right away that Super Famicom games come in a more vertical box instead of the horizontal boxes. Well, I mean, we have vertical boxes for our Nintendo games. What am I talking about? But they're a little bit more thin. They look almost like a VHS box, is what I kind of compare it to. Now, what's cool about this is complete in box. I will show you, for those who may have never seen what a Super Famicom game might look like. I'll show you how they look. So, pull this out, and it comes in a clear case. Very different from the case I just showed you for the Lion King. It's a clear case. You have the instruction booklet here for it. It's in pretty decent condition. And you've got all the moves here, various fighters, and you've got some bios here. Of course, it is in Japanese. And then here is the cart. I'll pull the cart out for the game itself. And that is what a Super Famicom game looks like. So it sort of looks kind of like what you're used to on the Super Nintendo. And then it has some other things in here too. This looks like, oh, this is a promo for Breath of Fire. Really great role-playing game. And so yeah, and once again, a lot of these games I got pretty good deals on. I will tell you this, it never hurts to ask about, it never hurts to negotiate a price. Some people think that you have to pay the price on the box. That is not always true. You can always negotiate. You can ask, say, hey, I've had my eye on this for some time. would you be willing to go a little bit lower? It doesn't hurt to ask. All I can say is no, especially if you already have the money for the game. Hey, ask. I mean, you already have the money for the game, and you're going to buy it anyway, so at least ask. But yeah, I love this. I want to get some more Super Famicom games complete in box and add to my collection. All right, next we have. This is going to go way, way back. We have a game for Atari, and this is for the Atari 2600. And I got this on eBay, and it's part of my Star Wars collection, but it's also, of course, a video game. It's mostly part of my video game collection. But I have Star Wars, The Empire Strikes Back on Atari 2600. This is complete. This has everything in it. It's not like shrink wrapped or anything. This is the package it came in. I'm going to leave it in here. I'm not going to take this out, but it's all there. And I think this has got to be one of the best looking boxes I've seen for a 2600 game. But it's Star Wars, The Empire Strikes Back. I need to get a 2600 because I want to play this game. I want to see how good the game is itself, because I've never played this game before. But as you can see, that's what the graphics look like right there on the back. And yes, it does have the manual, it does have the cart in here, and yeah. All right, moving on. This one of my favorite shows as a kid. I still love this show, and it's a pop culture icon. You see the people that played these characters at all sorts of conventions. I have had the pleasure of meeting several actors that have played these roles in this show, and I have this is Mighty Morphin Power Rangers for the Sega Cd, and this is in almost pristine shape. This looks great. Now this one, I will say, I did pay a little bit of a pretty penny for this one. It does have only problem with this, it has a little bit of a crack there, but other than that, this is in excellent condition. Now, for those who never had the opportunity to play a Sega CD, a lot of their games had full motion video. This has a lot of FMV. This it's all live action video for the most part, and it's all complete. I'll open this up so you guys can see here. what this looks like inside. It's there, and it even still has the foam guard for the CD, which is what they used to use to make sure the CD got protected and didn't get any scratches or dust or anything on it. But yeah, it's all there. Hey, if you want to join the Power Rangers fan club, you can. How about that? I don't have a Sega CD to play this. I would love to get my hands, and I do plan on that, to get my hands on a Sega CD. I need a Genesis also to play this. I've never played this game, so if you've played it, let me know how it is in the comments below. All right, next we have for the last section of what I have on this video, I've got nothing but NES games, and while I have lots of other NES games, these are my 4 favorite games that I own in my collection because these are all complete in box, and some of these are worth a lot. These are probably the games in my collection that are worth the most, some of them. Let's start off with one of my favorite puzzle games of all time. It's Dr. Mario. I love this game. It is complete in box. You can see here, it is complete. I absolutely love this game. I'll open this up. I have no problems with that. It's all here. You guys can see. Look at this. You wanna get a subscription to Nintendo Power? You're more than welcome to. But here's the cart. It does have its sleeve. I just took it out of its sleeve though. But it's definitely one of my favorite puzzle games of all time. I know a lot of people like Tetris, and hey, I love Tetris, and that's a game I definitely want to add to the collection. But this was I think for me personally, my favorite puzzle game on the NES ever was definitely Dr. Mario. All right, next up, we have my favorite sports game on the NES. Now, some of you might be more familiar with the Super Nintendo version of this game, but it all started right here. This is before you had Madden. This was the football game to go to, and it's Tecmo Bowl on the NES. And this is in a really great condition. It does have a couple little tears there on the sleeve, on the lid, but other than that, this is great. This is I love the look and condition that this game is in. If you've ever played Tecmo Bowl, I highly recommend you do so. It is a fantastic football game. It's fun. It's quick. It's easy to learn. Difficult to master, though, depending on how much you get into it. But it's definitely worth the experience, for sure, if you haven't played it yet. Moving on, we have 2 games left. This next game is a Konami game. And back on the NES, most Konami games came in gray boxes. And I have 2. I have Double Dribble, and then I have this game, which is not a sports game, but it's one of my favorite beat-em-ups, and it's very difficult. Probably one of the most difficult games on the NES. That would be The Adventures of Bayou Billy. This game is hard. If you've ever played this game, you'll know that what I'm talking about. It's difficult. Konami was known for putting out some pretty hard games, Castlevania, etc. This game is no different. This is a pretty difficult game. I love watching people speedrun this game. Now, granted, this is not in the box itself is not in the best condition, but this is complete. The book is in here, the case with the sleeve and everything is in here, along with the game itself. But I remember getting this game as a kid, and I was so frustrated because this is a game that has 3 different sections. It combines 3 different things. It has a side-scrolling beat-em-up action comparable to Double Dragon, but it also has a driving game element to it, a little bit like, I guess you could say, like Road Blaster type. But then it also has a light gun game element. So if you really wanted to get the full experience, you would plug a zapper into your NES and also play with your controller, and it was really, really weird that they combined the zapper and the controller to play a game. It was really crazy, but I recommend, if you're looking for a really challenging beat 'em up, light gun experience, driving game experience, look no further than the Adventures of Bayou Billy. And last but not least, speaking of challenging games, this has to be probably the most challenging game, as far as I know, that was ever made for the NES. And if you can think of an even more challenging game than this, leave it in the comments below. But this is Ghouls and Ghosts, or Ghosts and Goblins, man, Ghosts and Goblins. It's Capcom. This is insanely difficult. This is a game I haven't even beat. I have beat Bayou Billy. I have actually finished that. This, on the other hand, this is difficult. This is the very definition, in my opinion, of NES difficult. It's hard, but this is a complete condition, as you can see here, and it's part of the it says on that Captain Commando Challenge series. Now, granted, this isn't in the absolute best shape. It does have some unfortunate tears on the top, but even so, in this condition, it's still worth a lot, and I believe this is one of the most valuable games I have as part of my collection. So there's that. So yeah, and I do have. I want to get an NES. I do have another console I can use to play this on, but man, what a tough game. Anyway, that's it for this episode of Brian's Collection, and thank you guys for taking the time to watch. Let me know what you really enjoyed out of this episode. What do you hope to see on the next episode? I think I might do video game magazines on the next episode. We'll see, because I have quite a few of those to show you guys as well. And I'm also going to be doing a pickup video, like some things I pick up, new things. I will try to incorporate that into this series, not do a separate series. So if I pick up something new, I'll be sure to incorporate that into this video as well, if I haven't incorporated it into another video. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. If you haven't already, like and subscribe here on the domain. We've got some other great content coming right at you. And until next time, we'll see you guys. Take it easy.